Hello everybody and welcome into the very first episode of the newest series on this channel, TPR Informer Rankings, where we rank anything from shows, rides, mazes/houses, scare zones, anything to do in the Roblox theme park community. Today we are stopping and taking the time to rank all, now 7, Halloween Horror Nights 2020 Roblox houses/mazes. And those all include Slaughter Cinema, Giggles and Gore, Graveyard Madness, Jack's Monsters and Mayhem, Ghostbusters, Stranger Things, and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So if you followed the channel for a little bit on the Universal Roblox Newscast, we did a little bit of something like this with the quick ranks, but this new show is going to give me time to actually talk and give my full thoughts and rankings on these mazes, houses, rides, and all that once we have a couple more episodes with this show. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in. And if you have not visited Halloween Horror Nights Roblox 2020 and you wish to not have anything spoiled, this is spoiler filled. I'm going to talk about the mazes, houses, get my full all-around thoughts, so you have been warned. So coming in at number 7, we have Graveyard Madness. Graveyard Madness to me is a maze that it wasn't really up to par with the other mazes and houses around Halloween Horror Nights this year. I really enjoyed it. I still think it's top quality when it comes to Roblox theme park or just Roblox horror mazes in general. But the beginning and first half of this, pretty much the whole first half of this attraction, it was a little underwhelming. The jump scares to me, though consistent, were not very scary. The characters who were giving the jump scares, same characters, same designs. So this was the only maze I would say I wasn't really, none of the jump scares really affected me at all. So the middle part of the house, to me, was very bland compared to the other houses. Especially with the repetition of the brick walls, which I understand, the gray brick walls, it is a graveyard, but it just left this really bland vibe to it. The one thing that I think definitely helped save the maze for me was the ending. It was very unique. It definitely boosted up my experience. I loved the church aspect, all these red colors, these open environments, which I've seen a lot of the Halloween horror mazes and houses this year, whether it be a church or a theater or an atrium. You walk in, you have this open view here, people sitting in the seats, you have our main antagonist up at the front, and it gives this really, really cool vibe and this really cool aesthetic, and you get this open view, and it really, really enhances the experience of the guest. Overall, that definitely did help the maze for me, and I don't think any of these mazes were bad. But Graveyard Madness, to me, I know a lot of you guys love it, but to me, it comes in last place with a score of 7.1 out of 10 for me. Now, coming in at number 6 is Slaughter Cinema. I think Slaughter Cinema is such an amazing idea for a house. It is, of course, taken out of one of the past real-life Halloween Horror Nights, Slaughter Cinema, and I was really happy when I heard that they were going to adapt this one. So Slaughter Cinema, definitely, it has, I believe it's either 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 different movies, parodies of funny horror parody movies, basically. And it puts you in these worlds, and you go from each film. And my 2 favorites out of these, which I wish we got a little more time in, definitely the Swamp Monster one and the Sorority one. Top 2 ones. I wish we got more time in the Swamp Monster one. The ones that were a little underwhelming, definitely the Vampire and Space one. I did not really love that one. And the Krampus one, which I actually really enjoyed, but I just wish we got a little more time in that world. So, I thought all the funny movie plots, they did give me a little crackle every here and there. They did very good at immersing the guests in most of these, except I think the only exception is the Vampire one, Vampires in Space one. The only part of Slaughter Cinema that I thought was a little disappointing, besides the space vampires, was cannibals. The cannibals section, that part was a little lacking, but besides that, I feel like it's a very, very solid house, solid entry to the Halloween Horror Nights Roblox 2020 collection of mazes/houses. Overall score 7.6 out of 10. So now, coming in at number 5, we have the returning Halloween Horror Nights 5 house, Giggles and Gore. So Giggles and Gore, I was really, really excited to revisit this house. To me, it is more or less like a dark killer clown, so it was very cool to go from killer clowns to Giggles and Gore. I love how Giggles and Gore has this sort of rundown factory mixed with the carnival vibe, and I think it's a really, really cool concept that they have adopted for Roblox. And the grittiness really helps to immerse you in this world. And I really, really love the jump scares and the designs of the characters, and especially the final scene with the acrobat and the main clown as he follows your eyes as you go around. I think it's a very, very nice maze. The beginning is, to me, a little bland. Not much there compared to the rest of the maze, which is pretty solid. But overall, it is overall a better maze than the 2 new houses, Slaughter Cinema and Graveyard Madness, in my opinion. And I was glad to see it return. Given an overall score tied with Slaughter Cinema of 7.6 out of 10. Okay, so now coming in at number 4 on this list, we have Stranger Things. Now, Stranger Things is a returning maze from last year, but we have updated effects, and we have a couple new scenes in here from season 3 and I believe season 2. So overall, those 2 parts were definitely the best part, especially the Starcourt Mall sequence. I really, really loved seeing some of the returning set pieces from last year and the year before. From Stranger Things Season 1. Those are really, really nice to see. The jump scares, that's where the problems come. The house, to me, is more of a spectacle than a scare. It's more there for die-hard Stranger Things to dive into this world that they know and love, which I really did. I felt like I was going from season to season, seeing everything iconic from the show. Season 2 is lacking, but then again, biggest things in the show, Season 1 and Season 3. If you have seen the show, I definitely enjoyed all the new add-ons, but the jump scares are lacking, the scares are lacking. But if you are a really, really big Stranger Things fan, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. I will give it a 7.9 out of 10. So now we are pulling up into our top 3. Coming in at number 3, we have the most hyped house and newest house that everybody was hoping was coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2020 Roblox. That is Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, definitely super excited for this. First house that I visited, and I really, really enjoyed it. So it takes you through beat by beat of the movie. Of course, it's gonna leave out more or less the non-scary stuff that's expected. But there are some good jump scares in here. I definitely jumped a couple of times. But again, it does fall guilt to the same thing as Stranger Things, where it's more spectacle than scare. But the scare is still there, especially the beginning library scene. You get that scare. Occasionally you get random ghosts here and there. But the set pieces, very, very cool, especially the firehouse, the ending sequence, and the sequence in the hotel with Slimer. So this maze overall was bright. It was vibrant, and it was awesome to go through. The character animations were beautiful. The detail was shown. The developers are definitely true Ghostbusters fans. I would overall give Ghostbusters an 8.9 out of 10. So coming in at number 2 is the returning maze from last year, Jack's Monsters and Mayhem, which was renamed from Jack's 5 Years of Monsters and Mayhem, from Halloween Horror Nights 5 Roblox from last year. This one gives you all your favorite horror movies, going from, well, you'll see a little bit of everything. Your big ones definitely Shining and Halloween. Not being the biggest horror fan, but being a big movie fan, I definitely appreciated seeing those 2 classics, which are some of my favorite movies. in there, and it does a really good job at immersing you in these different sections, in these different movies. Though rounding some of the corners, you can expect some of the jump scares. The character designs are awesome. The jump scares, for the most part, you will jump a little bit in your seat. And the ending, of course, is a big combobulation of everyone's favorite horror movies, including Pennywise from It. Definitely, that was really cool. And all the little details and all the little Easter eggs that were in here made it a really fun maze. My favorite one from last year, and it is coming in this year at number 2 for me. And finally, before I give you my first maze, let me announce my score for Jack's Monsters and Mayhem at a 9 out of 10. And for me, it is really, really hard to get a high score. I am definitely a little picky when it comes to these because there's such a large amount of mazes that we get every year for Roblox horror fans. But it just barely narrows out that 9.0 score of Jack's Monsters and Mayhem and that 8.9 out of 10 score of Ghostbusters. That's Killer Clowns from Outer Space with a 9.1 out of 10 for me. This one put me right into the movie. I definitely loved watching this movie. It wasn't the greatest movie, but it has a lot of cool and funny scenes and iconic scenes which were captured perfectly in essence in this maze. There were a couple scenes that were missing, but majority of the classic scenes were in here. The character animations were great. I really, really loved the ending sequence. I especially loved the bright colors that added you into the movie. The music definitely is that suspenseful, but yet funny, but yet charming, and it gives you this kind of gory vibe. It's a really, really cool maze. And I really, really appreciated the perfect mood and setting. And to get 2 top-notch mazes this year with Ghostbusters and Killer Clowns, I was really happy. And Killer Clowns exceeded my expectations, as I said before, giving it a 9. So overall, I really, really enjoyed the mazes and houses we got from Halloween Roblox this year. And I cannot wait to see what they have in store for next year. Look forward to my ranking of all the Halloween Horror Nights 2020 Roblox Scare Zones in the next week or so. And be sure to pick up the TPR Informer Limited Edition HHN Roblox 2020 shirt. Linked in the description for a limited time. So be sure to get those before they go off sale. So with that being said, tell me your ranking of the HHN Roblox 2020 houses/mazes in the comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day.